Hi guys, Bon here. Today we are going to be talking about everything that you guys need to know about Novavax. We're going to be talking about its history, its stocks, and its outlook, and what I'm planning to do in the upcoming 2 to 3 months. Oh yeah, and before I continue, this video is meant for entertainment purposes only, okay? If you guys are going to be investing, please do your due diligence, okay? Please invest with only money that you can afford to lose. So with that, let's go. So most of you guys have probably never heard of Novavax, but it's actually a pretty old company. It was founded in 1987. If we take a look at its stock prices here, we can see that it actually went IPO in 1995, and since then it has had a very crazy ride. Look at this, it went here, and then it went all the way up. At its highest point it was 280 something, almost $300 in 2001. And then ever since then it dropped. And then it kept dropping, and then it went up, and then it dropped, and then it went up again, and then it dropped, and then it went up again in 2015. And yet again, it dropped again. And then it went up to $143 right now. So the question is, why is it like that? Well, the story is full of heartbreak and tragedies. But it's still very entertaining. So let's get to it. So it was hard for me to find out any news stories about Novavax since before 2013. But realistically, all that really matters is 2015 and afterwards. And so we will go over those things. So in 2015, the biggest news was that the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation will spend up to an $89 million to fund the development of a vaccine against viral pneumonia. In return, the vaccine maker Novavax will make the shots available at an undisclosed but cheap price in developing countries if it proves effective. So in 2015, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation gave $89 million of grant money to Novavax. This is for its antiviral pneumonia vaccine, which will later be called Nvax. And with that $89 million, Novavax got its vaccine past phase 1, past phase 2, and got it to phase 3 of the vaccine trials. But phase 3 was where it all went wrong. In 2016, its antiviral drugs Nvax did not pass phase 3 trials. The reason for this was because it failed in terms of efficacy. And after that failure, their stock tanked. Their stock was absolutely horrendous. So if we take a look at here, in 2016, it was trading around $155. Then the next day, it dropped 85%, dropped all the way to $25, okay? This is what happens to your stock when the vaccine that you spent so much time and energy in and money in fails. So what did they do after their vaccine failed the FDA approval and their stock plummeted 85%? Well, they did the only thing that they could do, and that was go back to the drawing board and try it again. So they did, right? They went through phase 1, phase 2, and they went back to phase 3 again. And that happened last year, 2019. So in 2019, Novavax entered their phase 3 trials again for Nvax, the antiviral vaccine for pneumonia that failed 3 years ago. And what happened? What happened last year? The drug failed again. The drug failed again, okay? The drug failed a second time. And what happens when your drug fails? When your drug fails the FDA approval, your stock crashed. And this time it crashed 75%. It crashed so much that they had to do a reverse split stock, or else their stock was going to be delisted from the NASDAQ. So what they did was that they did a 20-to-1 reverse stock split. That means for every 20 stocks that you had of Novavax, it would be reduced down to 1 stock. That way, the price of each stock would be higher and the company would not be listed from the NASDAQ. Alright, so in just last year, they failed their second phase 3 trials, okay? And their stock has taken a huge hit. So, what do you do? What do you do when your drug has failed twice? Well, you move on to a new drug, okay? So the new drug is now called NanoFlu. That drug in 2020 was given the fast track status by the FDA to produce as fast as possible. And this has nothing to do with COVID-19 because this is January 2020. Right? COVID-19 was not a big deal back then. But then the coronavirus happened, and what do? They actually jump shipped and made a new drug, and that drug is called Nvax CoV2373. So ever since the coronavirus popped up, Novavax has been doing everything it can to get its drug approved by the FDA. And they're doing very well because they got into Operation Warp Speed. And boy, did Novavax stocks soar, okay? Ever since it has gone into Operation Warp Speed, it has seen its stocks went from $18 all the way to what it is now, $143. This is because they got a whole lot of funding. So in May, Novavax scores $384 million deal from CEPI's largest ever to fund the coronavirus vaccine work. CEPI is the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovation, and that $384 million was the biggest grant they has ever given to anyone. And the funny thing about money is that when you start making money, people just start giving you more money, right? That is how money works. That is how money has always worked. If you get an investment from someone else is gonna throw money at you too. And that is exactly what happened to Novavax, because in July, the US paid Novavax $1.6 billion for its coronavirus vaccine. $1.6 billion. So that is the reason why Novavax's stock prices have been going up so high. It's because once you get money, okay, people are going to start throwing money at you. But what's important is that you need to deliver results, because this has happened before. In 2016 and 2019, and their stock went up like crazy just before they announced their FDA results. Well, what happened afterwards was that they didn't deliver on their promise. Okay? It wasn't effective. So because it wasn't effective, their stock dropped. Their stock will definitely drop like crazy if they produce very bad results. But until they publish their results, their stock could go up like crazy, all the way up to $200. It's very possible for them to go up to $200. Now, the question is, when are they going to be publishing the results? Well, supposedly it's gonna be the first week of August, which is now, okay? They're scheduled to publish their first coronavirus vaccine this week for their phase 1 trial. And if their phase 1 trials does not live up to the hype, then their stock will drop like crazy. If it does, then their stock will go up like crazy. Alright, so now let's talk about Novavax's stock prices and their trends, okay? So currently Novavax is at $143. Its market cap is $8.3 billion. Its earnings per share is negative 3.8, which is not good. It's very bad, but it's a biotech company. All that matters is that they deliver a vaccine. Its 52-week range is $3.50 to $154. As you guys can see from its 3 months, you guys can see that it has gone up like crazy. It's gone up a huge amount. And the truth is, it can go up more if it provides good phase 1 results, okay? If it provides good phase 1 results, then it can go up a lot more. But will it? Will it produce good phase 1 results? Keep in mind that Novavax has not gotten any FDA approval drugs in the market in its past 33-year history. It has not gotten any drug approval. So what are the chances that it's going to get approved now? I don't know, right? I don't know what chance that it will have in getting its coronavirus vaccine passed. But this isn't phase 3 and this isn't FDA approval. This is phase 1, and phase 1 is meant to target safety. Right? Is it safe for people to take this Novavax vaccine? And that report will be released this week or next week. And that report could make or break this stock. So it is very important. Now, let's move on to part 3, and that is, what are my thoughts and what am I planning to do with Novavax within the upcoming 2 to 3 months, or 2 to 3 weeks. So for me, Novavax is really high right now. No one really knows what the price of Novavax really is, because within the last 3 months, it has been going up without any break. And those kinds of stocks, they scare me so so much, okay? Those stocks are so scary because if anything happens, their stock is gonna be the first one to fall. So if we look at here, in early June, its stock price was around $44, okay? So that was when it kind of leveled off. But ever since around mid-June, it has been going up, and up without taking a breather. Right now, currently, it is kind of hovering around 140-ish, $150. For me, I would still be very careful, okay? I would not be putting in a lot of money into this stock, okay? So my plan for this stock is that I am probably going to invest a few hundred dollars, okay, not a few $1,000s, a few $100s into this stock to buy it before its phase 1 news comes out, because once its phase 1 news comes out, it could either go up or go down. For me, I think it's going to produce a good phase 1 results, which means that it is safe for people to take. Okay? However, let me be perfectly clear. That does not mean that I think it's going to get FDA approval. I am not saying that it's going to get FDA approval. I'm just saying that it is safe for humans to take the vaccine. And the reason why I'm saying that is because its COVID-19 vaccine is very similar to its nano flu vaccine that is in stage 3 trials. Okay? Its nano flu vaccine is currently in stage 3 trials, and its new COVID vaccine is very similar in how they made the nano flu vaccine. And because of that, I think that it will pass phase 1 trials. Now, I do not know enough about the vaccine to say that it will pass the phase 1 with 100% guarantee. That is why I'm only putting in a couple $100 to buy the Novavax before the news comes out, because I do not want to heavily invest in Novavax, because if it comes out with a negative result, then your whole portfolio could be screwed. So be very careful when you invest in Novavax. Alright guys, well that's all that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, if you guys like the content, please give it a thumbs up. Okay, if you guys haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this month. So if you guys could hit the subscribe button, then I would greatly appreciate it. So until next time, bye.